The data scientist job has been described as the sexiest job of the century, but it's getting increasingly difficult to actually get a data analyst role or a data scientist role. To sort of try to address this or understand what is going on, in this video, I tried to scrape 7,000 job postings on LinkedIn and analyze them. And basically, I want to answer a few questions. One, I want to know what is the most in-demand skills for these roles. I want to know the tech stack for this role. I want to know what are the educational requirements for it. Do you need a master's? Do you need a bachelor's? I want to know the best locations to actually look for a job. Maybe the location you're looking is the wrong place. And I also want to understand what is the average salary for a data analyst posting these days. So I scraped LinkedIn for 7,000 roles and I analyzed them. In this video, I'm going to walk us through what I did, how I did scrape the postings, and the result of my analysis. Follow me. So welcome again to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we're just going to walk through the analysis. So I wrote the code in my I'm just going to walk through the code because it took a long time to actually run, and I had to do the postings in batches so that I could be able to analyze them easily later on in the video. So these are the libraries that I used all of these job postings actually, and so you see data analyst, business analyst, business intelligence analyst, business intelligence officer. They are somewhat, I would argue that they are somewhat related, so the requirements are not completely different from each other. Consultant data analytics, lead data analyst and all. And I'm looking at this specific location, so Berlin, India. I'm basically looking at the top 5 locations where my YouTube channel has been watched actually. So I know UK, the US, Germany, Nigeria, and India. So those are the locations that I've given this, and I'm looking at countries specifically. And I wrote a code to basically get all of the job titles, the company name, the location, the post date, and I'm also looking the date the job was posted, so that just to know. And I'm also looking at the job description. So in the job descriptions is where they write what they expect you to do, the skills and the requirements, and we just do that. If you run this, like I said, it took some time for it to run, and then if we just check this is how the CSV file looks like at the end. So you see here the skills. This is in German, the marks, then Unterschied or in business or this blah blah blah. So these are all in German. There are also English ones, but the ones it's showing now is German. That makes sense because we're actually looking at Germany. So some data analyst roles are in Germany. And if you see here, you see there's file size is about 7,000 rows data analyst position that we are going to actually analyze. So let's get straight to the analysis. And of course, I could sit down now and start to plot graphs and try to check the word embeddings and the like, but there is a shortcut that we all know now, ChatGPT. So that's what we're going to use to analyze all of this in this video. And now I am just going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to show you the result of my analysis in ChatGPT. Let us get straight right into the analysis. So the first thing we want to see is, so I basically asked ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, attached I have uploaded a CSV file of different analysis roles. The file contains the job roles, location, skills, and web links. The skills are in different languages. I would like you to perform a detailed analysis with nice visualizations. Answer the questions below. So there was some error, but then we figured that out. And I'm just going to walk us through what we see here. So the first thing about the rows, the first thing we see here is about the distribution of the job levels. And it's quite interesting for me that there's a big chunk of job postings out of our 7,000. There's a big chunk of the job postings where we could scrape, of course, in entry level. A big chunk of them actually came from entry level, which is quite interesting for me. So it means that anyone who is trying to get a data analyst role now, anyone who is trying to get into the data analyst field has a big chance of actually getting a job. So next you see mid-senior level, associate, not applicable, internship. Of course, this way for the jobs we scraped. It's also possible that for many of the jobs, as you know, with web scraping, some scraping probably doesn't really work. It's like an ACU method. So for the ones we see, we actually found that this is entry level. The argument could of course be that, oh, maybe we didn't see enough, but this sub-sample size tells us that there's a big opening if you are getting into the field. The field is still accepting a lot of people coming in, so don't give up. If you're still in the set, don't give up. This thing is saying there's a job for you out there. Don't give up. And the second question we want to analyze is, of course, then to look at also the what are the most the best locations. We also said we wanted to see what are the best locations for a job, the best locations for a data analyst role right now. And according to what ChatGPT is showing me, it's actually saying that the UK, London, UK is actually a good place to look for a job right now. Remember, we were only looking at 5 countries largely. We're looking at the UK, the US, we're looking at Germany and India and Nigeria. And it's saying that actually the best place to be looking for a job right now is London, because many of the job postings that we actually try to analyze in this analysis posting points to London. So if you're in the UK, you probably have a better chance, and if you're willing to relocate, you have a better chance of getting a job than someone else. You also find Berlin is a good place, and I'm not surprised with Germany, Berlin especially, because it's been described as the tech capital of Europe. So it's understandable that you actually find a job easily. You have a better chance of getting a data analyst job in Berlin. Then you find Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, Frankfurt, then Lagos in Nigeria, and then Berlin again, Hamburg again. So some places were repeated because they are word embedding. So if you differentiate it somehow, it's different. Now, one thing that's also interesting is also the comments that ChatGPT added to this. This is outside knowledge, aside from the data we give it. It says that these findings suggest that urban centers and regions known for their tech industries or significant business activities are likely to offer more opportunities for data analysts. So it also means that if you're in a place where it's not urban, or there are not enough tech industries, you might be thinking of trying to relocate to a place where there are better opportunities. It just makes sense. But yeah, and then of course I think there's probably also a challenge if you are trying to get something remote and you're junior. You might not be at an advantage compared to someone who is senior, because they will probably just want to have you there in person. And then it says also in ChatGPT's knowledge, it says why the data set is specific to certain locations. Generally speaking, larger cities and tech hubs around the world, such as San Francisco, New York, London, Bangalore, etc., are known to be vibrant market for data analytics professionals due to their high demand for data-driven decision making across various industries. That's long, but basically what it's saying, location matters. That's the summary of what it's saying, location matters. So if you're in a place, maybe you are not, and the place is not really promising, probably you should think about relocating to somewhere else to actually get a better job. So that's it about location. We also want to look at a tech stack. Remember, we're looking at what do you need to get a data analytics role right now. So let's look at also the tech stack that you need. The tech stack is saying that you need R, Python, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI. So these are the big tech stacks that you actually find in the skills column that we scraped in the data that I showed earlier. And I'm actually quite surprised that R is actually the leading one. It's actually the big one. So you see R, you see Python, you see Excel, SQL. We're not surprised to see R and Python at the top, because you need those two. But then you see also with ChatGPT's comments, the bar chart illustrates the demand for various technologies and skills in data analyst roles as inferred from the job titles in the data set. The visualization highlights the prominence of R and Python as critical skills for these roles, underscoring their importance in data analysis, statistical modeling, and machine learning tasks. Additionally, foundational tools like Excel, along with data visualization tools, Tableau and Power BI, and data management with SQL are also represented, though to a lesser extent. So this is quite interesting for me, that for data analyst roles, you actually need a lot of R. I would argue that Python will probably be the leading one, but yeah. So, and I think it also points to the fact that the argument that which one is better, R or Python, I think is a very not necessary argument, because by what we see here, they both are very important. They both are very important, and yes, you will do yourself a favor to actually master that. The next one we see is SQL. I have a video where I actually shared about 5 tips that I've been using to get my SQL tips better. I'm going to put it somewhere here, and you can check it out later after the video, or now if you want to. And I'm now quite interested in also seeing how it will be for a data scientist position actually. So if you want me to make a video to actually to run the same analysis for data science positions, please put a comment in the put a comment in this video, and I would do that. Put a comment, and if we can get this video to 1,000 views and 100 likes, I will do that. I promise I will do it. So we wanted to also check, we've now seen location, we've seen also the tech stack that many of these jobs actually want you to have. We've also seen the seniority levels that many of these jobs want you to have. Another thing we wanted to see in the video, another thing wanted to see in the analysis is actually the required educational criteria. And I think unfortunately there was not enough information in the analysis for that. So we are just going to probably go with what ChatGPT thinks. ChatGPT thinks that the bachelor's degree is often the minimum requirements, with many rules favoring degrees in computer science, statistics, mathematics, or related fields. A STEM degree is commonly preferred, but not always compulsory, and I actually like that. So this is just not directly from the data set. This is ChatGPT's knowledge of life, as I would say. So basically, and I think that's quite interesting. Like I said, that you don't have a STEM degree doesn't mean that you cannot start out or you cannot work in data analytics. So many of the things that you need to understand the foundations in data analytics are things that you can pick up, that you can learn here and there. So if you don't have a mathematics background or a statistics background, you can still definitely do and thrive well in data analytics or data science. I have a mathematics background. Maybe that gives me a little bit of edge, I would say, but then to do well in my career, I still have to learn data statistics, computer science. And I tell you, you are always learning. If you want to stay on the job, if you want to be good at what you do, you are always learning. And that's one thing that is quite nice about data science, about being a data scientist. You have to keep learning. So if you don't have a mathematics background, I believe that you can still do well. Of course, like it says, it's preferred, but who says? I have friends who are doing amazingly well and they don't have a statistics or a mathematics background. So that is probably what I would say about that. Next, let's talk about salary. Money is important. So let's talk about salary. For salaries, and we couldn't also scrape data about salaries, but there is a very important tool that I use, and I think that is quite interesting, is called Glassdoor. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Glassdoor is a very good place where you can actually get data about people's salaries in a particular region. So for example, now I'm showing the salaries for a data analyst in Germany. This is saying it's between 50,000 and 65,000, and I think, yeah, fair enough. That's fair. Of course, it will range. The range is also by companies, and I think this data says that it's got the data from 244,000 analysts. So 244 people actually came and said, I earned so amount of money. I would expect that this is sort of the base salary for someone with probably 1 or 2 years experience. It could also be your entry level experience. When I started my job, I was earning between this. But if we go back and we try to make a check on junior data analyst, and then we said for Germany as well, Deutschland, and then we said for that, it says that it's much lower. So that's 41,644 to 50,000. So yeah, this is what you will expect, and I think it also tells you the count of people who actually give this. So this is about from 108 junior data analysts. So Yeah, fair enough. It's not huge. I know usually people, when they want to get into their role, they don't even negotiate their salary. I'm talking about junior data analysts. They don't even negotiate their salary, because they just like, see, just get me the job, and I just want to get the experience, and then maybe later down the line, when I have the experience, I will negotiate. But if you're not interested in negotiations, this at least gives you a way to think about how much money you would earn. And also interesting about the locations we found out in the beginning, you can also use this to know if you're ready to relocate to another place and the standard of living is not so high, and you think you can probably earn more by moving to another place, and you have the possibility. Maybe you should also be thinking in that direction, because it's possible for you to move away from Germany and go to the UK and earn more, and probably even be able to live better, probably with friends or families there. And yeah, so I think that this platform gives you that understanding about the base salary and the average salary. I would have loved a situation where on job postings they actually write there how much money you're going to earn, and it will have been interesting for us, because we would just scrape the data now and also be able to analyze them like we did for the tech stacks and the locations. But yeah, still not bad, but we got information about what it is, how the market looks like, at least right now. So we found that you have to learn Python, you have to learn R, SQL, data visualization tools like Tableau and Power BI were very key into the tech stack that we found. So in conclusion, I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you want to go through the timestamps again, you can just check it, and I will be releasing more videos like this, so please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers before the end of the month, so please subscribe. And if this video gets 1,000 views and 100 likes, I'm going to do a similar analysis showing you how you can script the data, and also for a data scientist position, and we can explore that. If you like this video, check out my previous video where I actually interviewed a data analytics manager on how to think like a data analyst, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.